Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Golden Bachelorette. Chock Chapple's major change, based on Joan Vassos' criticism, proves his red flags didn't disappear. Is he blaming Joan for this change? The Golden Bachelorette lead Joan Vassos started a running joke regarding Chock Chapple and his addition to socks, but her teasing may have led to some change. Joan and Chock found love through the dating series, with Chock's charisma earning him the season's first date. By the conclusion of this date, their chemistry was tangible. Joan chose Chock as her ultimate winner, and Chock proposed to the school administrator. Since the Golden Bachelorette Season 1's finale, Joan and Chock have been inseparable. As they travel the country together, the newly engaged couple has updated fans through their social media accounts. One of Joan's most popular Instagram posts features her grappling with Chock's sock addiction. Fans resonated with the ironic video, and the joke quickly spread. Chock then followed up her video with a video of his own. His update and previous association with bad behavior could indicate some red flags. Chock's video features him collecting over 100 pairs of socks and delivering them to Wichita Rescue Mission. This charity helps to provide necessities to those in need. This selfless act won over fans, and many shared their support in the comment section. Joan's comments influenced this decision, with Chock mentioning Joan organized the donation and pushed him to follow through. While the donation was a kind act, it begs the question: why would he wait until Joan's interference to donate his collection? Chock compiled a collection for years, to the point that he could no longer keep track. He should have donated the footwear much sooner. According to Chock, he would rather purchase more socks than wash them. His habits and the overall popularity of fast fashion wreak havoc on the environment. Chock should recognize the impact of his overconsumption. If he had insisted on replacing once-used socks with a new pair, he should have been actively donating his clothing without the push of an outside source. At the very least, Chock needs to handle his chores. He should not rely on consistent purchases rather than washing his laundry. This avoidance could indicate a major red flag. Chock is old enough to handle his responsibilities. While Chock's donation was a kind gesture and a step in the right direction, his hesitance to donate may be concerning behavior. Joan should not have needed to interfere before he recognized the fault in his habits. Hopefully, his experience will be a learning opportunity. Chock should be more aware of his impact. Although Chock has been heavily criticized for his behavior on and off the show, Joan seems to be a good influence on him. The couple has been consistently adapting on behalf of the relationship. The Golden Bachelorette's first couple has been doing everything right. His questionable habits are easily mendable, and the couple will remain open to change. Chock Chapple has been a polarizing figure throughout the season of The Golden Bachelorette. His undeniable charm and razor-sharp wit drew viewers in, but it was his unpredictable emotional swings and penchant for deflecting blame that raised eyebrows. And now, as the season edges closer to its dramatic finale, Chock's latest transformation is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. According to sources close to production, his major change, an abrupt pivot in both attitude and demeanor, was triggered by Joan Vassos' pointed criticism during a heated group date confrontation. But while some are calling it a long overdue adjustment, others believe it's simply another mask Chock has donned to avoid accountability. The real question: is Chock Chapple blaming Joan for this change? And does it prove his red flags never really disappeared? The infamous group date showdown, for those who missed it, the tension between Chock and Joan reached a boiling point during one of the most memorable group dates in Golden Bachelorette history. The date involved a charity auction, where contestants were encouraged to auction off personal services to raise money for a local shelter. While most men offered sweet and thoughtful gestures, like private dinners or homemade crafts, Chock decided to auction himself as a personal guru, promising to fix anyone's life with his unique brand of life coaching. The move didn't sit well with Joan, who called it arrogant and tone-deaf. She confronted Chock in front of everyone, questioning whether his approach was genuine or just a ploy for attention. "You're selling yourself like you have all the answers," Joan said, her voice steady but tinged with frustration. "But you don't even seem open to hearing anyone else's perspective. Are you here for love, or are you here to prove you're right about everything?" Chock, clearly caught off guard, deflected by accusing Joan of being overly critical. "I think you're projecting," he fired back. "Maybe you're uncomfortable with someone who's confident in their abilities." It was a moment that divided Bachelor Nation. Some praised Joan for standing her ground and challenging Chock's ego. Others felt she came across as harsh, arguing that Chock's quirks were part of his charm. But what no one expected was the seismic shift in Chock's behavior that followed. The new Chock, genuine change, or strategic pivot? In the episodes since that confrontation, Chock has undergone what appears to be a dramatic personality overhaul. The man who once reveled in being the center of attention is now quieter, more introspective, and, some say, eerily subdued. Gone are the grandiose declarations of self-improvement. In their place are humble apologies and an almost uncomfortable amount of self-reflection. On a one-on-one date with Joan, likely orchestrated by producers to address their unresolved tension, Chock admitted he'd been reflecting on her words. "You called me out, and I needed that," he said over a candlelit dinner. "I realize now that I've been using confidence as a shield. Maybe I was scared to show vulnerability because I've been hurt before." The admission seemed genuine enough, and Joan appeared moved. But as the date aired, fans on social media were quick to dissect Chock's every word. Is this growth? Or is he just saying what Joan wants to hear? One viewer tweeted. Another chimed in, "Chock is a chameleon. He'll say anything to stay in the game." The blame game. Is Joan the scapegoat? While Chock's newfound humility might seem like a step in the right direction, it's hard to ignore the undercurrent of blame he's subtly directed toward Joan. In conversations with other contestants, Chock has repeatedly referenced how Joan's critique forced him to change. "She really put me in a tough spot," he told Pascal Aiguë during a heart-to-heart. "I had to rethink everything about how I present myself. It's exhausting." The phrasing hasn't gone unnoticed by fans, many of whom see it as a classic case of deflection. Chock's making it sound like Joan is responsible for his issues. One Reddit user wrote, "That's not accountability, that's manipulation." Even Joan herself seems wary of Chock's intentions. In a confessional filmed after their one-on-one date, she admitted she was still on the fence. "I'd appreciate that he's trying to grow, but part of me wonders if he's doing this for me or for the cameras," she said. Real change takes time. It's not something you can flip a switch on overnight. Red flags that won't disappear. Chock's critics argue that his sudden transformation is yet another red flag in a long list of concerning behaviors. From his initial refusal to take accountability to his tendency to deflect criticism, the signs have been there all along. Even his decision to auction himself as a personal guru speaks to a deeper pattern of needing to control the narrative. Chock has always been about image, says a former contestant who left the show early. "He's great at telling people what they want to hear, but when it comes to actual growth, I'm not convinced." Joan's critique may have sparked a change in Chock, but the nature of that change, and his apparent resentment toward Joan for initiating it, raises questions about his sincerity. Is he genuinely evolving, or is he simply shifting tactics to stay in the competition? A turning point or the beginning of the end? As The Golden Bachelorette heads into its final episodes, Chock's transformation will undoubtedly play a key role in the drama. If he can convince Joan and the other women that his change is authentic, he might just secure a spot in the finale. But if his behavior continues to hint at underlying resentment and manipulation, it could spell the end of his journey. In a teaser for next week's episode, Chock is seen having an emotional conversation with host Jess Palmer. "I feel like I've been misunderstood," he says, tears welling up in his eyes. "I'm trying to be better, but it's like nothing I do is enough." The clip has already sparked debate online, with some fans empathizing with Chock's struggle and others dismissing it as yet another performance. "He's playing the victim card now," one commenter wrote. Classic deflection. Meanwhile, Joan is shown grappling with her own doubts. "I want to believe he's sincere," she says in the preview. "But my gut is telling me there's more to the story." Conclusion. The blame game unveiled whether Chock's change is genuine or calculated. One thing is clear: his journey on the Golden Bachelorette has been anything but straightforward. Joan's criticism may have pushed him to reevaluate his behavior.